You thought we were finished? Nah, man. We're just getting started. Boise Sports Talk, EBC Basketball, and the Gametime Guru present to you Game Changers. We're bringing you Idaho high school basketball from a perspective you've never seen before. So join AJ, Ty, and myself and get ready because we're changing the game and we want you to change it with us. Let's go.
Oh, you're kidding me. Hold on. Here we go again. Hold on. Hey, Shane.
Yo, hold on. We're actually going live, AJ. So you just do your thing, man. Pull it up live.
Let's do it.
Cool. This is live technology, dude. This is how we roll. What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
everyone? We are waiting for people to jump on real quick. My name is Shane Larson, the Gametime Guru, alongside AJ from EBC Basketball, Ty from Boise Sports Talk, along with a couple others that we've got, and we'll introduce them here in just a moment. Excited to have everybody with us. We're trying to get this technology all sorted out right now. You know, this is the world that we're living in, and so AJ's pushing this on to Instagram, which we've got right here. So if you're on Instagram, say what's up, leave some comments below. If you guys are watching this from either YouTube or Facebook or Twitter even, make sure to say what's up, leave some comments for us, guys. Give us some love right now and share this with anybody. We're going to be talking some state basketball today, and we are stoked about this. And we've got some guests as well, a couple segments to go through and whatnot. So I see that we're live on EBC Basketball. Give us some hearts, show AJ some love, share this with everybody, guys. Let's go. We're super stoked for this show tonight. We've been planning this for a little bit, and we're ready to join forces and bring you guys some coverage that you haven't seen before. Again, we're on Facebook. If you guys want to share it, the Gametime Guru Facebook page, YouTube page, or even on Twitter, Boise Sports Talk. You know, Ty shared it as well. So go find us on any of those platforms. If you want to share it and tell somebody else about it, let them know. All right. So I'm going to let the guys introduce themselves. You know me, I'm Shane Larson, the Gametime Guru. Some of y'all who are listening, you might have been on my show. A couple of the athletes around here, I know AJ's been on my show. I had a couple of athletes and coaches around the valley that have been on my show. So yeah, if you guys are watching, what's up? Appreciate you guys tuning in. And first, we're going to introduce the man over here with the locks of love, dude. His name is Ty from Boise Sports Talk. You might recognize his amazing Instagram page that he's put together. So please give him a round of applause. And Ty, tell us a little bit about yourself so the people know who you are, the face behind the page.
Hey, thank you, Shane. Yeah, so my name's Ty Spangenberg. I'm a local Idahoan, born and raised here, played sports my whole life, and noticed a lacking in coverage for our local young athletes, and have seen the great work that AJ and yourself have been doing, and look at us now. Here we are. Excited to get this rolling, and I'll pass things on to AJ.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not an Idahoan. My wife is. I'm from Portland, and growing up, we had great coverage, man. We had websites and all that type of stuff. The internet was still a little bit newer back in the day, about half my life ago. And man, it was just so much fun to get to know the other players around the state that maybe you wouldn't have a chance to play against and whatnot. But man, I remember how much fun that was and how important that was to me getting to the next level, and a bunch of my teammates, club teammates, high school teammates as well. So when I moved out here, I didn't see much of it at all. And so I just started doing it for fun once I stepped away from the high school coaching. And it kind of it grew legs, and now here we are. I got to hang out with you guys and talk basketball and do everything we can to help kids get that extra exposure and hopefully help get their college paid for.
Let's go. So excited, guys. Excited to bring this content to you guys tonight. Again, I can't stress it enough. Please share this with anybody, like all your teammates, your coaches, your family members. Let's get the word out for tonight's show. We're calling this Game Changers, because we're changing the game, especially through sports media. We're going to be going through a couple of things. Just want to run down the show for you. First things first, we're going to hear from some amazing people here about Idaho Premier, because that is who is sponsoring tonight's show. This is Game Changers brought to you by Idaho Premier. So you guys are going to hear more about Idaho Premier basketball from the ones running the ship. We'll talk to them. We'll also do a little bit of tourney talk. That's going to be our main focus, breaking down the state basketball tournament game by game for the 5A schools. we'll also be doing a thing called Full Court Press. So stay tuned. We might be bringing on Dirty Mike. So if we can get him on the show, hopefully we can get him in here. Dirty Mike wants to join us. And we'll do some full court press as well as trying to bring on the doc. And then we've got a segment called The Sixth Man, and we've got a guest coming on here. We want to share some information with you guys about some of the fan bases coming over to the state basketball tournament. Have some fun with this tonight. So first and foremost, we're going to start this with a little bit of discussion around Idaho Premier. So I'm going to remove a couple of y'all here, and then I'm going to bring on our guests. So 1 second. There they are. Okay, so we have Coach Colin and hold on. Let's see here. Oh, you guys chose to mute yourself, so I can't unmute you. So I'm going to wait. So you're going to have to that's what it said right there. So Coach Colin and the wonderful Jessica, I'm going to let you guys have the floor and talk about some Idaho Premier so we know what's all going on. So first off, introduce yourselves, and then let's let you guys have the floor.
Yeah, my name is Coach Colin, and this right here is my wife, Jessica. And yeah, listen, the whole thing with Idaho Premier is we started a couple of years ago. It's really about the kids. It's about the kids having fun, but it's about doing things the right way, and it's a family aspect. It really is. That's the whole thing. It's a family. People who are a part of it feel it. We have grown to be a very successful club as far as the talent that we have and being recognized, and so we did it in a quick time. And right now we've been asked to join a circuit that was Prep Hoops puts on, and so it was an invite, and we went ahead and accepted it. So we're building as a club, but our whole process has been we only grow as big as we have good quality coaches in place. So that's why you won't see Idaho Premier with every single age group, but we are slowly gaining the people that we trust that can coach, and not just coach, but they're good people. So we have continued to grow, and we have 15U and 16U tryouts tomorrow night at Columbia High School at 7:30. So it'll be good. It'll be a good show there. And the reason why things are different for us, we also have you guys in place because media is so important and exposure is so important these days, especially with COVID. People can't go and see games and travel, so whatever it may be, to be able to have you guys as a part of Premier with the exposure, you have that whole team to be able to get the word out for these kids, and then you have the coaches that will be following our page and being able to see at the tournaments their highlight tapes, because we'll have Cheech, who's joining the Premier family as well. He'll be going to all the tournaments, traveling and making the highlight tapes for these kids. So, and then we just get it out there. And again, we're going to be getting college coaches on board with following our page, so therefore they can see these kids play every tournament. So.
Yeah, just all about finding people that are in it for the right reasons. So, Gametime Guru, Boise Sports Talk, EBC, Dirty Mike, Cheech, everybody that's in it that, loves the kids, that's here for the right reasons, just to see these kids have a chance to either play at the next level or just have a great club experience, whatever they choose to do. But it's just all about the kids. That's the biggest thing.
I love it, guys. Tell us a little bit more about where they can find information about Idaho Premier. So, they're like, okay, I heard what Colin said. I heard what Jessica said. I'm interested. You said tryouts are tomorrow, but where do I find more information? Is there a social media page we can follow? Is there a website? Where do we find more info?
Yeah, so we have a website. It's idahopremierbasketball.com. And then we also have Instagram. It's just at Idaho Premier Basketball. Facebook, I think it's just like facebook.com/Idaho Premier. But, if you go to EBC, Boise Sports Talk, Gametime Guru, they all share about us. You can find us in their pictures too. You can find them in our stuff. So, yeah, should be up there.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to see all these kids that are in the state tournament this year that play for Premier. It'll be, man, I'm really proud of the kids and how much they've grown, or just how much they buy into just the whole family aspect. And if you can't play with each other, if you don't know how to get along with someone, then the club's not for you, basically.
Yep.
I love that. Y'all are about that. It's all about the love for each other. And you can tell when they get onto the court outside of the club ball, they've got that mentality already. I think it's really, really cool. I just want to stress right here, I can't spell, but I did go to the website and copy and pasted this. Before we started interviewing and recording, I legitimately couldn't figure out how to spell Premiere. So this is how you do it. And I've got a college degree. I promise you, I consider myself a somewhat educated individual. I can't spell. It's unfortunate. There it is here below. That's the website for y'all to go check it out. And of course, yeah, like Jessica said, we've got you covered from my page at Gametime Guru, EBC. You got Boise Sports Talk and everybody else in between. We're sharing it so you guys can come find the information there, find them on social, and go follow them. Any final words for us, guys, before we move forward with the podcast in regards to Premiere? Like, we want to see everybody out at the tryouts. That's for one. But what do you guys say?
And then if you want to try out, there's in the link, you'll see the bio for registering. So make sure that you register prior to coming. But I mean, it takes 2 minutes. Yeah. And the tryouts are free. It's not like you charge anyone for tryouts. That'd be ridiculous. So yeah, just come on board and come see if again, this is an elite club, so I'm not everyone's guaranteed a spot. So it's usually an invite only thing, but we're opening up to be more open to see kids who we wouldn't normally see.
We have some quality coaches on board this season, so we're able to open up a couple more teams and a couple different age groups. So
but we're excited, and I appreciate you guys, and I look forward to working with you guys, and you guys are doing amazing things, and that's why it's so cool to have you guys on board with everything. So, yep.
We're excited. You guys heard it. So for those on Instagram, following AJ right now on the live stream, those who are, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever it may be, hey, you guys saw it here. Go check it out. Come play ball. That's what we want. Okay. Come and play ball, and we'll see you there at tryouts.
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for sharing the information.
Absolutely.
You guys rock.
Oh, and just so you know, 17U, and then tryouts are the following Tuesday. So, just interested. So that's all.
Good info. 17U following Tuesday. So not tomorrow, the following.
I'll see everything on our Instagram page. They'll see it.
Okay. Make sure you're following Idaho Premier then, guys. That's the kicker here. That's the call to action. Follow Idaho Premier. All right. Okay. We appreciate you guys. We'll go ahead and move forward here. I'm bringing back on Ty and AJ. AJ, tell me real quick. We got to get some comments rolling in here. I know Coach Buff here. We got Buff that shared it on the Facebook page. Thank you so much for sharing the stream on your Facebook. Is there anybody commenting on the Instagram feed? I don't have it pulled up currently right now, but if they're not, they need to start saying something. Okay. They need to say something. So tell your boys they need to say something that are all, following here on the Instagram feed. I just pulled it back up right here.
We got some Madison fans in the house. We got some Boise Sports Talk fans. We've got some Meridian fans. We got a Drew Fielder fan. Mr. Rick Fielder's in the house. Go Beavers. No crazy comments. Just a bunch of fans. Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay, I like it. Awesome. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Okay, we're gonna get to the discussion now about the tournament. Okay, guys. So this is what we're here for. We want to do a little bit of tourney time. So this is our first segment, talking tourney time. The 5A tournament is upon us. Super exciting stuff. And I couldn't be more excited for this week. It's a weird season. It's an unprecedented season, but we have made strides of getting fans back in there to some capacity. We've got the NFHS network that's been bringing a lot of good coverage. IdahoSports.com has been doing their audio thing for, forever, but it's always good to see that they're still able to cover the kids and show, the coverage. And now we've got the state tournament. So if you guys look here, tourney time, the bracket, it's pretty, let's see here if I can even, let's try this. Maybe it'll pull in. I don't know. But we've got the first game that we're going to be talking about here on this bracket. This is from IdahoSports.com. Shout out Idaho Sports. Paul Kingsbury over there doing his thing, providing the coverage that everybody needs. First thing we want to talk about is the first game, guys. And I'm going to put this here at the bottom. We're talking Lake City and Rocky Mountain. So I'm going to let you guys take it over. I'm starting with Ty on this one. Whoa. What a game. Lake City versus Rocky Mountain. When Rocky lost to Meridian in the district championship, I think everybody was kind of the same feeling, right? We're like, oh boy, that's a tough matchup. Lake City first round. I mean, to win the state championship, it's going to be a tough game every game anyways. But Ty, what are your thoughts? Let's just break it down, players to watch, and what are your overall emotions and thoughts for Lake City versus Rocky?
Well, it's a doozy. Round one, game one. That district championship, you really did not want to lose that game. In round one, you essentially the number 2 and number 3 seeds in the entire state playing against each other, which, you look at any. So right off the bat, you get yourselves a great game. And I think either team that wins that, they got to be the favorite to make it to the state championship on that side of the bracket. As far as my game predictions for that game, you got a lot of great matchups, both defensive, long teams. I got to go with my boys from the Valley, though, the Rocky Mountain Grizzlies. Going to give them the nod here. I think they play with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. And I think that this district championship loss is not going to sit well with them. If you're a true competitor, it wouldn't, right? So I got the boys from Rocky Mountain, my alma mater. Got them pulling this one out, and what should be, honestly, could be the best game of the tournament, truth be told.
Absolutely, man. I'm excited for it too, Ty. Rocky's not going to come out there and just lay an egg, right? Rocky, they lost, and that's okay. You're gonna lose sometimes. They lost to an elite team in Meridian who fought back to win that game. That should motivate them. Kind of like you said, it should be a motivation. AJ, let's get your thoughts on the game, man.
Man, well, Ty, your alma mater, that's great, man. But I'm gonna just jump straight to it. I'm gonna go with Lake City in this game, only because, man, actually, yeah, like you said, this could be the best game in the entire tournament. This could be a state championship game based on what I've seen. I went up and watched Lake City. They start 4 sophomores and they start a 6'7" senior who averaged 14 points a game this year and shot 56% from 3-point range. And Jack Keesby, College of Idaho, has been looking at him all year, and that's saying something because that's one of the top NAIA teams in the country. And so they're loaded. I mean, they've got a 6'9" sophomore center, Blake Buchanan, who's a Division I kid. Mom was a USC volleyball player. She coaches at down at University of Idaho now. She's their head coach. Their point guard, maybe the most skilled offensive player in the state, sophomore Colton Mitchell. And then they've got a Division I wide receiver, 6'4" Zach Johnson. I heard yesterday that he got a call from Texas and UCLA for football. Wide receiver, 190 pounds, athletic, can jump out of the gym, and a good basketball player. I mean, so they've got athletes everywhere. And they're a team that I don't think a lot of people know about because they're up north, but people will know about them. But Rocky Mountain's a team that can come in and they can lock them up with guys like Cortez Graham, Cameron Williams. They're going to give Colton Mitchell problems, but Colton Mitchell is a special talent. This kid, he's a quarterback too. He's lost 1 football game his entire career. So from 3rd grade until sophomore year this year, he's lost 1 football game. He's that type of winner, and he's that type of dog with all these weapons around him. Lake City's going to be tough. They've gotten better as the years gone along. But Rocky Mountain they think they're the best team in the state. They lost the game the other day. They thought they should win. They're coming in. We're making a run. We're going to win this thing. We can beat Meridian. We want to see him again. Not a lot of people are thinking, I want to see Meridian again. I guarantee this Rocky Mountain team is. But I say I want Lake City. I think it could be Rocky Meridian in the final. I'm a Lake City fan. I love Colt Mitchell. I'm a point guard, former point guard, and I love him. And he's a lot of fun to watch. And because I'm a Lake City fan, I'm going to take them. I think it's going to be a nail biter, a low 50s, high 40s type of game, very defensive. And it's going to come down to a big shot. But this game, watch on the NFHS network, follow on all of our stories and tune in. There are some real deal players here. The Drew Fielder, Blake Buchanan matchup. These are the top 2 classes. Both these sophomore classes are the top 2 overall classes in the state of Idaho at any grade. Rocky sophomore class, Lake City sophomore class are the 2 best. Coach DM will tell you later how he feels about this game. This is his dream game. He's been talking about it since the start of the year. But Drew Fielder's a Division I kid. He's getting high-level D1 calls. Blake Buchanan as well. They're going to go at it. And whoever wins that matchup may win this game. So tune in. Watch this game. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be wild. A lot of hoopers. Pay attention to Colton Mitchell, Cortez Graham, Cameron Williams matchup. It's going to be a special one.
I love that. I'm sitting here thinking about it. This is one of those games I just don't know what to expect. I really don't. I'm looking at Rocky. I love their entire lineup. I love how they're just dogs, man. We were talking about it on the broadcast the other night against Meridian, how disciplined they are on their closeouts on defense. They can lock up if they need to lock up. And again, you just referenced Fielder. That's the matchup I want to see. I want to see how he does. Lake City can come to play. They got a big, like you said, like they've got ballers too. But Fielder has improved so much, and he wasn't like he was bad. It's just that he's gotten better. That's awesome. He was a good player who got better throughout the duration of the season. He got more comfortable at the speed of the game, and he's shown up big time for Rocky, especially in big time games. So super excited to see this particular matchup. I cannot wait. I really want to see how they all show up. Which the thing is, AJ, what I'm wondering is, like with Rocky, you never know who's gonna be the main person because they have so many people that can get it done. They've got so many scorers out there that can but it's not one main stud that's running the offense typically. You got Blake Monk who can go off at any time. You got Jaden who can go off at any time. You've got, Cam who can knock down shots. You got Max Nee who can knock down shots. Obviously, Fielder can knock down shots. You can get some of the bench players coming in, hitting some shots. It depends on the day. And that's where I'm wondering, like, which Rocky are we going to see and who's going to step up, who's going to be their main scorer. I've still got Rocky winning this game, but I am so excited for this matchup. Lake City is going to be a tough one. But I think Rocky's coming to play because they lost at you got the T-Wolves right behind you, huh?
Yeah, it's a Timberline mascot, but it's perfect for Lake City. I'm going Lake City. Not a lot of people are going to agree with that, especially those Rocky guys, but Rocky could go win the state championship. I've said that. I'm a big fan of Lake City. I think they started a dynasty this year, and that's just my opinion. So
I gotcha. AJ's the odd man out here, but he knows the stuff. So let's check it out. So you guys mark it down. If you guys are on Instagram, whatever, if you're on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, whatever you're watching it on, mark this down. AJ's got Lake City, Ty, and myself. We've got Rocky in this one. So we'll move forward. Don't know what happened to Ty here on the broadcast, but we'll figure it out. Looks like he bounced off, but we're going to go to the next game down the bracket. As you guys can see here, as I pull this up, we've got Rigby and Boise. Also keep in mind, guys, the time frames of these. Just wanted to keep everybody in the loop who's watching the tournament. It is different than previous seasons due to the pandemic that's going on. They have to have extra time to get people moved in and out. So take a look at the time for each of these games. Just so you know, it's different than it has been in previous seasons. Okay, next game down the line, fellas, we've got Rigby and Boise. So another SIC team trying to hold their own, and they're bringing in Rigby. AJ, you're the one who knows all. Tell us about this one and what you think.
Two teams that weren't anticipated to be here, but teams that have some serious guys. Jack Payne and Whit Miller for Boise, potentially one of the top 2 or 3 1-2 punches in the state of Idaho. They looked really good against Eagle to get into the state. That was the best game they played. They moved the ball well. They took care of the ball, and they allowed their 2 guys to make plays for them. Other guys knocked down shots. Cooper Howell has gotten going. He's one of the top snipers in the state of Idaho when he gets going. Last 2 games, he's averaging 16 a game. That's huge for them because Whit Miller is one of the top playmakers. He's going to C of I. He's committed already. Jack Payne, one of the top 2 or 3 juniors in the state. He can play 1 through 5. He can guard 1 through 5. He led the SIC in block shots. He was first team all defense. Jack Payne had 20 points in the second half against Eagle, and Eagle had 21. So he can take games over on the big court. I think that benefits Boise. They want to get up and down. They're smaller. They're scrappy. They want to speed the game up. They can score with anybody, but they can also give up a lot of points. But I like that Boise's here. I'm excited to see Whit Miller on the big court. I've been saying it for the last 3 years. But Rigby has a couple guys who are really tough to stop. Cade DeBell, their point guard. I followed him for the last 3 years. Cade DeBell is a monster. He had 18 in the upset over our number 1 seed, Thunder Ridge. At Thunder Ridge, they were down 12-14 at half, came back, made a run, won the game by 3. Cade DeBell was huge. You look at him and be like, oh, okay, who's this kid? And then he pops off. I think he had 31 earlier this year against Post Falls, and they beat Post Falls 72-71, started the season. That's a huge win. They beat Madison at Rigby. Madison's one of the top 3-4 teams in the state easily. We'll talk about them later. But Cade DeBell and Carson Barber over at Rigby are 2 guys that any game can drop 30. And when you got guys like that, and they're senior guards, and they've been there. It's part of Rigby's DNA to be there every year. They expect to be there. That's why I was a little worried for Thunder Ridge. I thought Thunder Ridge would win, but my goodness, Coach DM called this game, and all the rest of us are still mind blown about it. And he'll let everybody know about it. But Rigby is a team that's going to be tough, but so is Boise. This is a crazy matchup to me. I think this is the matchup both of these teams want. Who's going to take advantage of it? Whoever does is going to the semis. But you got some real ballers out there in Payne, Miller, Howell, Barber, DeBell. It's going to be a very interesting game. I've got Rigby winning this game by 8 to 10 points. I just think the East is the best league. They're battle tested. Not that Boise's not, but Boise's best win is against Eagle, who's a very good team. But Rigby's beaten Thunder Ridge and Madison, and for me, and Post Falls, who's in my opinion the best team maybe that's not here besides Thunder Ridge. And I think it's going to be a fun one. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be high scoring. But I got Rigby, I think, in this game. They're more battle tested.
Man, that's crazy. So you got Lake City and Rigby moving forward in that top side of the bracket, huh?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Okay, I dig it. Let's get a little bit of a fan comment here. This is Ty's boys. Apparently, we got some BST fans in the house, which tuning in on YouTube. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. And we'll bring Ty back on here. I think he's here. There we go. Ty, is your mic working?
Welcome to 2021. Am I right? Technical difficulties.
Love it, man. It's always good. Hey, so
glad to be back.
You're you left for a minute. It's all good. Hey, I don't know if you know the people below. Give them a shout out. But apparently the Boise Sports Talk.
I'm assuming his lovely bride Victoria is with him. Thanks for all the support, guys. Heard you guys talking about Rigby, correct?
Rigby Boise. Give us your thoughts, man.
Rigby Boise. Okay, so if there's one thing that I've learned this season, it is to listen to Coach DM. Outside of Mountain View predictions, outside of the Mavericks, don't even get me started on that. That's DM being DM, right? But Coach Mike in our last show predicted that Rigby was going to come out of the East, and we all kind of thought he was crazy. Well, that experience, right? Coach Mike's got it, and he nailed that one right on the head. So I don't know enough about Rigby to, compare matchups, but their track record to me, kind of like AJ just brought up, says it all. Gotta go Rigby in this one. I think the East is going to have a good showing this year.
Wow. Okay. So here I am again. I'll probably, throw a wrench in here. And I apologize if I don't know enough about Rigby. I know a little. I've watched some of their stuff. It's tough for me to analyze a game in it, and I feel like I'm like Kendrick Perkins, who comes in here and starts speaking before he knows anything that he's talking about. So I don't want to get too deep into the analysis of these teams if I haven't watched their games enough. I know Boise, and that's AJ said it kind of a minute ago. It's one of those. It's actually a good matchup. That's one that I think a lot of the state doesn't realize how good it is, because it's Boise and it's two teams that we didn't necessarily know if they were going to make it, and they did. And so I'm going with Boise in this one because I think they pull it out. They've surprised me too, though, because I see them sometimes it's super bipolar the way that Boise plays. And but I've seen them play very well, actually. I've seen them play awful and then respond with a really good game. Rigby, I'm sorry, I don't know enough about you guys, and because of that, in default, I'm going with Boise. I'm sticking with the SIC, so somebody can come out of that top bracket, apparently, from the SIC. I've still got Rocky and Boise going forward, though, in that first round. So I'm taking Boise, but not with a ton of analysis, because I don't want to sit here and act like I know what I'm talking about with both teams. I don't, and I apologize for that, guys. I will not sound like Kendrick Perkins, period.
No, I totally agree with you on that, though, and I think – again, like I said, the only reason I'm going Rigby is because of their track record and what they've done. I do think Boise, as you saw in our awards yesterday, got a lot of love for Whit Miller, Jack Payne. They've gotten to this level, so they can pull this out. But due to Rigby's track record, I think they're the team to beat in that one.
Awesome. All right, guys. So we've got some Rigby fans in the house. All right. Let's go. We're going to move forward down to the other side of the bracket. These are the later games, day one. Okay, so as you guys can see, got my notes pulled up. There you go. There's another 2021 thing. So as you look here on the idahosports.com bracket, we're going to talk about Meridian and Mountain View. Probably not the matchup that Mountain View wanted first round in this tournament. I don't think it's the matchup anybody wants. But if you're in the state tournament, you expect to play the best if you want to get to the championship, period. That's what you want to do. So we got Meridian and Mountain View. So I'm going to change this here at the bottom so y'all can see it. Also, leave us a comment. If you're on the live stream on Instagram with AJ, leave us a comment who you think's going to win out of Lake City Rocky. Leave us a comment who you think's going to win out of Rigby Boise, who we've spoken before. Is it Lake City or Rocky, Rigby or Boise? Leave us a comment. If you're, regardless of where you're watching it, leave us a comment. We'd love to see that so that we can see what everybody's thinking. We want to know what everybody else is saying too, you know? All right. So this one, I'm going to take this off the screen. We're going to chat it up about Meridian and Mountain View. And I'm starting this one, okay? Meridian's my alma mater. They know I love them, okay? I love them to death. I love Coach Sainer. And I know that people are like, oh, you're a homer. I love Rocky's guys too. They got a lot of great, amazing athletes there, and I love all the Rocky dudes. I work with some of the parents. I just love them all, okay? But Meridian is my alma mater, so I have a little bias in my heart for them. But I'm not just saying that. They are an amazing, amazing team. They also can play, you know, a little up and down. They're bipolar. You know what I mean? They can go crazy sometimes. That being said, they have found ways to win when they play poorly, which is the sign of an elite team. Mountain View, on the other hand, here's the thing. I was surprised by this. I was at the Mountain View Meridian game, 2 months ago, AJ? We were doing the Battle of Stinky Sneaker where we had to vote for him, I guess. There's no fans in the stadium barely at all. Anyways, funny event there for me because that was my first time being in, it's just weird. Anyways, won't get into that. We're at that game, and AJ did say something. He said, you know, this could potentially do one of two things for Mountain View. It could kick them into a new gear, or it could derail their season. And Meridian, you know, it was a double-digit win, but it felt like they could have won by more. And I expected to see Mountain View fall from there, but they didn't. They responded the other way, and they started kind of picking things up together. Their first-round matchup in districts to Rocky, I thought Mountain View was highly outmatched. Just did not have a good matchup. They couldn't get anything to fall. Nothing was going right for them. And then obviously they respond the next game, and they played extremely well. I think it's a very tough matchup for Mountain View. I think they're a good team. That's no discredit to them. I think they've got good athletes, but I think Meridian is like 9 guys deep as far as like who can score at any given moment. I mean, you're looking at Meridian, who just beat Rocky in the district championship, trailed 11-0 to start that game. Joe Empoyo didn't have his best game at all, and we all know that. And they had guys step up at the right times, and that just shows you an elite team who can, one, shoot terribly from the free throw line, go down 11-0 in a championship game, and still find a way to win it. And I think Meridian's going to tear them apart in the first round. I think they win by 20. Okay, I'm letting AJ go after I just said that, and we'll see if any of the Mountain View crew gets really mad at me.
Hit him in the comments.
Yeah.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it, fellas.
Heck yeah. No. You know, I'm going to go with Coach DM, and I'm going to pick against Mountain View. Meridian's just something happened to them. And Shane, you touched on this last couple of days and on your broadcast of the game. Great job, by the way. They picked the right guy to do the district championship. The Guru, you're gifted, man, as a commentator for sure. I watched it back just to watch you, hear you. So, but yeah, Mountain View has really gotten going. I think they've won 7 of their last 8 games. They look a lot more together. They've got 8 or 9 guys, 10 guys that can play ball. Some guys are specialty guys, but they got a lot of guys who are confident with the basketball, and they're one of those teams that's not necessarily scared of Meridian because they know them so well. All those guys are buddies. They're all club. You know, they're 3 minutes apart. They're 3 miles apart. They all know each other, and both the times these teams played, it was not a blowout. I mean, I think, like you said, Shane, 12 to 14 points both times, which was surprising. Mountain View ended up with a 4 seed, started 2-4. And like I said, they've won 7 of their last 8. They beat Boise in the first round, and they got handled by Rocky. Tough matchup. But fact of the matter is this, is if Tyler Clayton isn't going 20-10 or even 10-10 like he did to get into the tournament, like they just had to do against Timberline, when he was a man-child, and he was a Tyler Clayton that I saw at the end of last year and this summer with Idaho Premier. Shout out Coach Colin and Coach Jessica. But if he's not that guy, and Noah White doesn't pop off, and it's not going to be close. And Noah White has to deal with McKay Anderson, Drayson Fisher, Davis Thacker, Ethan Pierce. Should I keep going? Defensively, Meridian is just loaded, stacked. And then offensively, like you said, Shane, they got 8-9 guys that can – where are you going now? And then you got 3 guys who can go for 30. You got McKay Anderson, who was a district tournament MVP, district championship game MVP. You got Brody Roberry, who was SIC Player of the Year. And me and Boise Sports Talk agreed, Joe Empoya was runner-up to Player of the Year. You got to deal with that. And then you got 6 other guys that can just do whatever, whenever. And they're all very good at different things, including defense. Like, I don't know. Like, we said it all year. I don't see Meridian losing a game unless they beat themselves. Not that Rocky didn't handle them the second time they played, they did. Rocky outplayed them and defensively locked them up. But Meridian, it took them 1 minute, Shane, and you talked about this. This is what I was going to say. It took them 1 minute to go on a 9-0 run and completely change the game. 1 minute. So you're telling me you could outplay this team for, what was that? That's 23 minutes. And then they have 1 minute where they just, boom, and you're down. And I mean, that's special. That's different. That's who they are. You got to play 32 minutes to beat them. You've got to match the intensity defensively and offensively, hope they're missing shots and rebound, because they do like the 3-point shot. They do. And they'll continue to shoot it because they've got a lot of confident shooters. You got to rebound then. You have to deal with Roberry then. It's just problem. And I just don't think Mountain View for 32 minutes is going to be able to do that. I think they can play with them in spurts with, guys like Noah White, Baylor Perrin, Zach Bennett, the Logsdon Twins, DJ Myers. All these guys are good basketball players. Clayton, Golly, all them. But it's not going to happen for 32 minutes. And I got Meridian in this first round game probably by – I'm going to go with you, Shane, probably 20, 22, 24. I think it's going to be a little bit more convincing than the last 2 times these teams have played. They're going to eliminate Noah White and really focus on him and make other guys beat him. Bright lights. Meridian's been there. Mountain View hasn't been there for a couple years. Meridian.
Hey, real quick, Ty, before you go forward on this one, I have to correct myself. I made a mistake when I was talking about the games and districts. I got them mixed up with Mountain View in the first round versus second round. I said they played Rocky first game. That's okay. I got it all mixed up, so I just wanted to apologize for that. I hate that. Again, Kinder Perkins. No, but can't
we
do
don't
that.
make mistakes here.
Yeah, we don't do that. When like for real, like I cannot apologize enough when I make a mistake like that. It's problems. So don't do that. Okay. Appreciate you. Okay, Ty, let's get your it looks like it's 2-0 for Meridian. Are you going to go against the grain or what you got there?
2-0 Meridian. I'm not going to go against the grain. But I will say this. So Mountain View is an interesting team. I've seen them on what could be their best day, and I've also seen them on probably one of their worst days. To me, they play their opponents like this. If they know that they're the better team, they play with high energy. They come out swinging, and they show that they're the better team. But when they go up against, go into a game where they're the underdog, they play as that, and they usually come out timid and just not that high energy that they can produce. Speaking of energy, want to give a shout out to the Mavs student section, because they have easily brought the most energy to districts and every game that I've seen the Mavs play. So shout out to Mavs fans. Keep that up. Let that be a notice to all you other fans as well. Get that energy going. Give these guys some love. But ultimately, Meridian is best team in the state, district champions, and they're going to come out of this one with a win. Would love to see, like you said, Tyler Clayton, if he's going to have a hard time with Brody Roberry, but defensively, if he can focus defensively, lock in and try and take Brody out, it's going to go a long way in helping his team. So, in the end, I see them losing, 15 or 20 in that range.
I'm going to say that's a challenge to Mountain View. I know we got Rick here that said everyone is 0-0 at state. Everyone's even and gets fresh starts. That's why state's so fun. Who knows? That's very true. It's a fresh slate. And may I say something real quick that's been on my mind for a while, but I just want to bring it up here. why do we do 3 games in 3 days for Idaho? It's always been that way. But do you guys realize, like, do fans out here realize that's not how other states always do it? Not every other state does. It's like weeks in between games sometimes, like districts, how they set it up. Why does Idaho State tournament do it 3 days and 3 games in 3 days when you don't ever play 3 games in 3 days in any other part of your regular season or districts or ever? Like, Idaho doesn't do that ever. But then all of a sudden you're trying to win the state championship. They make them play 3 games in 3 days. I hated that when I played in state. It was tough. 3 games in 3 days ain't easy, dude. At a high level, you've got to play your best game 3 games in a row, 3 days in a row. That's not easy to do. AJ, what's your thoughts there? I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, man. Here's my thoughts. I mean, I hear you. I completely agree. I'm from Portland, Oregon, and that's how we did it. We did it very similar, where we maybe would play Wednesday, take off Thursday, then Friday, Saturday. They kind of changed that up while I was in high school. But fact of the matter is this: these guys play 3 games in a day. Club ball. These guys can do this. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit more emotional of an environment. Takes a little bit more out of you than a club game. You know, it's not running clock. A lot more, you know, of a mental kind of, you know, wear maybe I'd say than a club game. You have bright lights, big, you know, big gym, all that type of stuff. It's going to affect every kid differently. But I love that it produces this adversity that kids have to force themselves to get through. Yeah, and you're right. 3 games in 3 days is difficult. Here's something to watch, okay, that I've noticed last couple of years watching the tournament. A lot of teams will come in hype, play great their first game, and then there's usually an upset, maybe 2 sometimes, in the second round. We've seen Rocky Mountain the last 2 years lose to Post Falls, a team that they were not expected to lose to. Last year it was in the second round. They came in, they played well the first round. They beat Meridian. They came in the second round, and it's like, who is this team? They looked discombobulated. They looked tired. The emotion of being at state in that first game, you always see the effect in the second game. Sometimes you see it in the first game because a lot of kids haven't been there, and they're like, oh my goodness, the depth perception, all the different things that are going on, you got to find a way to overcome. But the second day, you're usually seeing upset. And I've seen it the last couple of years. And that's why, you know, Rick Fielder said on here, thanks for chiming in, Rick, go Beavs. He said, state's a different animal. It's a different world. You're 0-0. If you can find a way to win that first one, anything can happen in the semifinals. Anything. All you need to do is find a way to get there, get to the final. And who knows, dude, give yourself a chance. That's it. That's it. So it's interesting, but I based on what these kids do in club, I don't view that as any sort of excuse for any of these guys.
I got you. I respect the answer there. It's funny about the depth perception. I considered myself a really good shooter all through high school and all through my career, right? I was 0 for 3 in our first game against Lewiston when we made state at Meridian, you know, 06. I could not shoot, and I stopped shooting after my third shot. I tried to do a turnaround jump around the baseline, airballed it 2 feet over the rim. The depth perception is way off. People think that that's not a real thing. It definitely is. It throws you off a little bit, and everyone will say, "Oh, well, good basketball players can adjust." Yeah, but it does take a second, especially when one side is. It's just weird. It's weird when you're shooting free throws. You're like, you shoot it short.
A much simpler answer to your original question. I mean, AJ nailed it on a lot of those points, but I think it's a lot easier to get you know, a big venue like that in a set amount of time rather than spreading it out. And especially with, you know, COVID times and whatnot, it's easier to just, you know, when you're having teams come in, you know, have them here for a short amount of time and get them in and out, if you will.
Okay, with the logical answer. Thanks, Ty. Appreciate that.
I'm here for it.
Cool. Yeah, Ty's always bringing the logic. Trust the process is Ty's keyword now. Like, you guys will hear stories later, but we got a shirt coming for Ty and stuff. Like, we'll never doubt Ty again. Okay, well, I'll just tell you that later. Okay, moving on to the last game in the first round, we got Madison and Eagle. Okay, Eagle is a lot of those guys are AJ's boys. He knows them very, very well. I am excited, though, to tell Madison guys, I am actually super, super stoked to see them play like here in person, like with us against some of the SIC schools. I've been following through EBC, you know, like trying to see AJ's content on Madison earlier in the season. I'm like, ooh, they've got some boys that can play. And I am excited to see him. You talked about 2 shooters, AJ, that are a little bit taller. Can you talk about them? Because I actually think this is going to be the players I want to watch.
So they're two big boys down low, and that's Eli Randall and Braxton Pierce. But before I get to them, I can't waste any time getting to the potential Gatorade Player of the Year, Tatum King, 6'5", left-handed point guard. Couple games with me and Coach DM and the doctor went and watched him at the Middleton tournament. He had 30 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds in his first game, 17, 7, and 7 in his second game. And then he had 28, 8, and 5 in his third game in 3 quarters. Tatum King is, if you don't find a way to keep the ball out of his hands, you're not winning the game. Ball's in his hands. He's making things happen. You got Eli Randall, who's 6'5", probably 250. Braxton Pierce is about the same size. Two big football-looking kids, like high-level football-looking kids. And, they set those ball screens. They dominate the glass. And then they've got Logan Crane and Tyson Lurwell who stand on the wing, 2 smaller guards who can catch and shoot. They're very tough to defend. But Eli Randall is an absolute man-child. He's going to make things difficult on Jason Janish. I was telling some of these Eagle guys, because like I said 100 times, I was at Eagle for 4 years. I know all these guys are my boys. So happy that they're at state. They better come ready to play, and they better play the best game of the year in order to play with this Madison team. This Madison team is physical. They've got a lot of different pieces that can do a lot of different things. They will dominate the glass. Eagles a little bit smaller of a team. Donovan Jones is going to have one of his better rebounding games, helping Janish out, and for them to stay in this. But they do have the guards to do it. Eagle does have the guards to do it. But like I said, the physicality that Madison brings it's impressive. And Eagle hasn't always been known to be a physical team. They've always been kind of more of a finesse team with a lot of guys, kind of specialty guys. But Rafi Labrador and Gage Jones, 2 guys that have been playing very well for Eagle, shooting the ball well, making plays. Those 2, I think, have an opportunity to have if one of them has a big game or they both play well, they can win this game. This is a game I am really excited for. It's the primetime game. It's the late night game. And if Gage Jones or Rafi Labrador shows up and shoots well and plays their game, it's going to give Madison some problems, because you still got to worry about Isaac Deaton, Donovan Jones, Jason Janish, and Seth Feek off the bench. Seth Feek was our 6th man of the year. Isaac Deaton led the state in assists, I believe. Janish is SIC player of the year that nobody knows about yet. Now you do, sneak peek. And then you've got Donovan Jones, who was for us a 3rd-team all-league guy who does everything well, everything. He's above average at everything. And then you got Jones and Labrador. Their top 6 guys can play with anybody, and they're gritty kids. So I think Eagles got a shot. Madison, for me, is just so physical, and they've got potentially the Gatorade Player of the Year with 2 6'5", 250-pound hoopers on the side of him with some shooters that can defend. I mean, man, I want to take Eagle. Okay, my heart wants to take Eagle. My head wants to take Madison, flat out. I think it's going to end up being that. I want to see Madison versus Meridian in the semis. I want to see that. But I want to see Eagle win a state championship too. So, and I'm just being completely transparent. I'm going to go ahead and take – oh, man. I'm taking the Mustangs in the upset by 2. The Mustangs will beat Madison by 2. That's my upset special, because Madison could go win the whole thing. Madison is that good. Tatum King is that good. I'm taking the Mustangs because I'm going to listen to my heart over my head. So Mustangs by 2.
Man, did not expect that. As you were talking, I'm like, oh, yeah. What? Okay, cool. All right, Ty, what you got, brother?
Make that 2 for the Mustangs. Upset City. This is my round 1 upset. I think it's time for these boys to have their best game of the season. They just scraped and clawed their way into the tournament. It's time to go now. They have. I've said it for a while now. Their top 6, 7 guys can hang with everybody, and that what makes them so play with the same energy. And if they can all get in sync and be hitting shots, I love their chances. It's a tough battle. Tatum King, special player. Braxton Lewis, is that his name correct?
Braxton Pierce.
Braxton Pierce, excuse me. Yeah, big out there in Madison. I'm going with the local boys again in this one. I think it's their time to make a run, and let's go Mustangs.
Dang, guys, that's crazy.
Crazy.
That is big. We're gonna snip the clip and post it on social media. Y'all are gonna ruffle some feathers there. Man, I really thought like that was not going that direction. I want to root for Cody Pickett for one. I had him on my show, so just so you guys know, like when I bring people onto my show, I have a personal connection with people. I root for them. I don't want them to be, I don't want them to lose. And I got to give him respect where it's due, right? Cody's got to have some respect here. He has surprised me because the first time I actually got to witness Eagle play in person, I was so critical of some of the strategies which he used. And then the next time I saw him play in person, I mean, there was another strategy that was used, but they didn't use the same one before. Like he switches things up. He's unorthodox and he doesn't really care what the fans say. He knows his personnel best and how to utilize them, I guess. And I want him to be successful. I just don't see Eagle getting past Madison. Like you guys have already said it. I'm not going to repeat it a million times, but I think Madison is good enough to win state championship. They're a state championship type team. And I don't see them losing game one. Now, AJ, you mentioned it earlier, like there's a lot of emotion in game one and so forth, but Madison has a history of going to the state tournament, whether it be 4A and 5A, they bounce up and down. It just seems like all the time, but anyways, they're always there. They just have that history, and I don't see them having a bad game one. Who knows what happens game two, but I see them getting up to play game one. I think Madison takes it. So I want to know what everybody else says here in the comments. I'm looking at some of them on AJ's feed here. If we got a lot of Madison's.
Shane, I'm gonna say something though. The reason I'm comfortable taking Eagle is because Cody Pickett is a difference maker. He is a winner. Okay, he has been to a state tournament in his coaching career, 10 years. He's been there 9 times. He lives there. He has a room rented out at the Idaho Center, and he gets there and he's successful. Like always, he's a dog. It starts at the top, and when you get here, anything can happen. They have 6 guys. I coached all these guys. These guys can play with anybody when they play well, okay? They've got facilitators and shooters, and they've got the SIC Player of the Year down on the block. And, I mean, if they can put it together, they can win this game. I wouldn't be extremely shocked if they won this game. I wouldn't have picked them. I think they can win this game. But Madison may have the best traveling fans in Idaho. I will say that as well. I remember last year I showed up and I said, "Oh, are we at Madison High School? Because this place is red and it is popping." I mean, COVID year, that may affect them a little bit. I'm not sure. But their leadership is there. It's in their DNA, just like I said it was with Rigby. But Cody Pickett, for me, he's different. He's a dog. I love these Eagle kids. This one's going to be fun. Tune in.
Shane, I'd like to thank you for picking Madison so that we can keep some fans from East Idaho tuning in.
Yeah, 100%.
Strategic move. Yeah. I'm looking here at the comments. Allison's got Madison. Somebody wants to know what Dirty Mike's pick is. Hey, dude, we'll bring him on. We'll bring Dirty Mike on here in just a second.
Yeah, you'll see Dirty Mike. You'll see Dirty Mike.
Dirty Mike is in the waiting room. He's in the waiting room. I can see him right here to my right. You guys can't see him, but I can. Hold up. For the Instagram followers, Dirty Mike. What's up? Is in the house. So anyway, Dirty Mike will be joining us shortly.
Yeah, we'll get his pick as well. I saw someone on here, Stodley 3, Eagle about to get popped by 40. Ooh, okay. So getting a little fire in here. All right. Oh, the Jazz just lost. So good. My Jazz just lost. Fantastic. I'm cutting the interview right now. We're done with this. Just kidding. I got the Bleacher Report right there. Okay. Cool. So we've got a couple differing opinions here. Let's go through round 2. You guys got Eagle and Meridian going round 2. Ty, who you got?
As much as I would love to say Eagle gets the 4th matchup against the Warriors, I don't see it happening. I think this is Meridian's year to make it to state, and ultimately their depth is what makes them so incredible, and their length. They've got 6 or 7 guys who are 6'4", 6'5". So the length and depth on that team separates them from almost everybody in the state. Like AJ touched on, the high energy that might come from Eagle winning round 1 may fade off in round 2. And I think Meridian continues to assert their dominance on the state.
All right. AJ?
I mean, one of us is going to bring it up, okay? And it's just that what happened last time these two teams played. And Eagle went to a 1-3-1 zone, which in the past has given Meridian problems. It was giving them problems again. They weren't necessarily ready for it. They couldn't find a rhythm with it, and Eagle was within 8. The start of the third, Eagle had lost by 41 and 20 to Meridian the previous 2 games. They come out in the district tournament semifinals, and Eagle goes to this zone, and they're down 8 with 6 minutes to go in the third, and Meridian pulls it out, and they want to pull Eagle out of the zone, and then the stall happened. You touched on this, Shane. I don't necessarily believe it was a stall. I believe it was a strategic coaching move, and Cody Pickett stayed in the zone. So it was a 6-minute stall, allegedly. I loved it by both teams. I'm really curious what would happen if they were to meet again. I'm very curious and kind of want to see it. But I'm going to tell you this, man. Meridian is not going to go lose, in my opinion, to Eagle. They could, because I believe those Eagle guys can beat that Meridian team. I do believe it could happen. It would take Meridian shooting horribly, everything bouncing Eagle's way, and Eagle finding a rhythm and shooting the ball well, which can happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think Meridian, the last game was close. I don't believe Meridian would allow that to happen again. I thought Eagle had their chance to beat Meridian. I think Eagle can beat Meridian. I'm not going to not think that could happen. I want to see Madison Meridian as well, but I picked Eagle. It would be just a very curious case to see what happens here, but I'm going Meridian double digits.
Okay. Ty, you got Eagle in there too, so what do you think?
We touched on me. I think you're up next on this one.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I just realized you did say that. Okay. Guys. I'm sitting here listening to AJ, and I'm like breaking down the analysis. Okay, Ty's next. Okay,
I just want to touch real quick. I saw Mike Sainer chimed in. What would you call that? He's saying it's not called a stall, just a strategic coaching move, and what would we call it? And if you're tuning in, what do you think of that move by the coaches? Let us know.
I call it checkmate. That's what I call it.
That was a chess match. Simple as that.
So
I like that, man. Honestly, like Jeff Sainer was trying to get to the state tournament. He was the winner got to state. Eagle almost didn't get to state because they lost that game. And Jeff felt that the rhythm his team had against his zone, it wasn't there. Eagle was currently on a 5-0 run, I believe. And he pulled it out and said, come get us because you can't guard us. And Cody Pickett, I loved his thought process too. If you're going to allow us to shorten the game and be within single digits going to the fourth against you guys. Cody Pickett said that Coach Colin from Idaho Premier was at my house the other day dropping off some vouchers for us to get into the game. Thank you, Coach Colin. And I was on the phone with Cody Pickett, and I was talking to Cody, and I said, hey, Cody, I'm with Coach Colin. He says, nice job, blah, blah, congrats, all this. Cody goes, hey, tell him. Then we started talking about the stall or whatever it's called. And Cody goes, I just don't think people realize how good of a team Meridian is, like how well-rounded. That's a very strategic move by Cody, and he would have done it again. I would have done the same thing. Like, you want to shorten the game and give us a shot against these guys, or you want to try and play them straight up and pressure them at half court with these future college basketball? But no chance. I'm shortening the game. I'm trusting my guys to make a run, and Eagle almost won that game, and it almost paid off for Eagle. So it is what it is, man. It's basketball, and like you said, checkmate, come get me, and it almost paid off for Eagle, though.
It almost paid off for him. They got him out of a rhythm, and it was super odd. But if you're gonna sit back in a zone, and I don't blame him. But usually, for everybody who's paying attention, a stall is typically initiated by the offense playing keep away. This was initiated by the defense. Completely different situation. For those who didn't actually catch the full thing, I posted it on Twitter, like 2 minutes of it. It went crazy. People started seeing it, but there's a 6-minute situation. What I loved about it, guys, is being there was the energy, because first you have some students that didn't necessarily, they're kind of like, yeah, this is cool. But then 2 minutes go by and then even the fans are confused. Some are like really excited. Some are mad. Like, what's going on? Everyone's confused. The energy continued to rise in the building. I had people asking me, what was it like being there during that? And I was telling them the roller coaster of emotions, because no one really understood what was happening, yet people are screaming, including myself, because I was like, yeah, Coach Sainer, let's go. And I'm like, yeah, pick it. Like, I didn't know what to even yell for at the time. It was just so awesome. Just a definitely a different situation. All right, so common consensus looks like Meridian's going to state, assuming they're playing Eagle for you guys in there. I've got Meridian playing Madison second round. It's a tough one for me, and I'm really bummed because I'm going to be calling the 3A games that day, and I won't be able to watch that game. In my opinion, I think it's going to be Madison Meridian. I have a really I want Meridian to win this. I think they have all the talent to win that game to get to the state championship. I want to see game one, how Madison really plays, how their bigs play that you were talking about, AJ, because that, I believe, is the problem, is when if you can contain Rowbury and get rebounds and whatnot on the floor, you can stick with Meridian. You could. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen multiple bigs be able to play with a solid guy. Like, it's not as common around here in the SIC. So if you have an elite team that's got a really good player up top bringing the ball up who can score, and then you got two guys down low that can get boards and put the ball in the basket. I think that's going to be a very tough match. As good as Meridian is, they're not the tallest team. They are long, though. Ty did say that length. They're long, but they're not the tallest. Like, I mean, they're not. It's just the reality. I mean, Rowbury's a monster, but who's the next tallest guy? 6'6", 6'7"?
Ethan Pierce, Davis Thacker's got some height to him. Joe Empoyo's
6'5", 6'5",
Yeah.
6'6"?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, that's what I'm saying though. I don't know if I consider that tall. That's a shooting guard.
Colby Homer's 6'6". He's physical kid.
Oh, he's a stud. Yeah, he's a stud.
He comes off the bench. He's going to have to play well, and he can. We've seen him go off for double digits, have double doubles. And that's back to your point, Shane. They have so many dudes that can pop off. Brendan McDowell can pop off. Ethan Pierce can do a bunch of things. All these guys off the bench, man, they're loaded. And with what Drayson Fisher found getting to the basket last game, and he's got a newfound confidence attacking the basket. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough, but Colby Homer's going to have to play good if they play Madison.
I do think that, if they get physical, if Meridian stays physical and can, continue to dominate the boards, just dominate everywhere else, I think they'll be all right. And I think they have all the players to do it. I want Meridian to win the state championship. So I think they're more than capable of doing it. That Madison matchup, in my opinion, that Madison gets there, that's going to be a tough one. Game 2, who comes out with the energy still after game 1? Like the whole second day of the state tournament, that's like the big, okay, what ifs. And so I'm still taking Meridian. I do still think they win it, but I think it's a close one in that one. Moving forward, you guys had Rigby and you had Rigby and looking here, Lake City. At least AJ did, right?
I had Lake City, Rigby. I think you guys are
okay.
3 different games here.
Yeah.
Okay, AJ, I'm gonna let you go then with yours. You've got Lake City and Rigby. You're taking the schools from out of town.
Lake City. Lake City for me is whoever wins that first game of the day, that 11:30 a.m. game, which I wish it was a late game. I'm taking whoever wins that game to go to the state championship. I think Rigby is a team that could go win that game. I don't think Boise's beating Rocky or Lake City. Matchup problems there. But Rigby, who I picked, I mean, they show they can play with Madison and Thunder Ridge. They're going to have to shoot it well. But for me, Lake City, they win that first game. They cannot allow themselves to have a letdown in that second game. Rigby's the type of team that can sneak up and beat you and just surprise you like what just happened if they get there. But I got Lake City. Blake Buchanan, like I said, 6'9", 6'10", probably the top shot blocker in the state. Sophomore, already getting big-time looks. Colton Mitchell. I think they're better at every position. I think they're bigger. I think they're more athletic, more physical, as I think Rocky would be as well. I think Rocky's guards, Graham and Williams, would give Rigby's guards problems. And then of course, you got Drew Fielder, who's the fastest improving player maybe in the state of Idaho. Like I said, big time phone calls lately. But I got Lake City. My bad. On the Instagram Live, blowing things up, dropping the phone. But I got Lake City beating Rigby probably by double digits in that game, 10-12. Whoever Lake City plays, if they win, whoever Rocky plays, if they win that first game, double digits, 10-12 probably.
Okay, Lake City going to the Ship. All right, Ty, what you got, man?
Yeah, so in my matchup, got a a state football rematch, if you will, Rigby Rocky. And again, I think it's for me. I'm setting up round 4 of Rocky and Meridian. I think Rocky's going to come out swinging with a chip on their shoulder after losing the district championship, and once again comes on top over Rigby, make it a 2-0 sweep of important games in the last 6 months or so. I do think Rocky controls games with their defensive effort. I think they need a few more offensive producers to really come out to play in March Madness, if you will. Blake Monk and Drew Fielder have really stepped it up offensively, but I think they need another guy to pop off and help kind of shoulder the burden for them. I'd like to see Cam Williams maybe be one of those guys. Cortez Graham has that potential. He can pop off at any time he gets up. He has a serious vertical. Would love to see some highlight reel dunks in the next week or so under the bright lights. So they need another guy to pop off, but I think that ultimately they're going to take care of business, and I'm setting up Rocky Meridian round 4.
I dig it. So I love the idea of, Rocky playing Rigby football rematch as well. That kind of brings back flashbacks for me. I'm an Ohio State fan. If you guys recall back in like 2006, 2007 timeframe, they lost to Florida in football and basketball that year. I shattered my phone on purpose outside as soon as we lost in basketball. Just destroyed it, ran it over with. I was so mad. So irritated because Florida got the best of us. I had Joakim Noah, who was crushing us. Al Horford. We couldn't stop them. They were just all over the place. And that was right after they had destroyed us in the football championship too. So
Shane,
what?
You were mad. I'm a Blazer fan, and we drafted your boy Greg Oden. Cool.
Hey, I'll go to my grave saying that was the better pick. That was the smarter pick at the time, because Oden was the better player. It's not his fault that his knees just gave out day one, but he was the better player. You got to be kidding me, dude. Like, don't even try to argue that with me. Greg Oden was the better player at that time in his career. He was done. No one could stop that guy.
For sure.
Okay. So I've got Rocky going past. I had Boise in the second round for no other reason other than the fact that I haven't paid attention much to the other squad. So I got Rocky playing Boise. I think Rocky was getting to the state championship. I think it's a round 4 as well. I think it's round 4 Rocky Meridian into that state title, which I think is what a lot of people here in the Valley want to see. I know a lot of people in the East and stuff that they don't want to hear that.
So I don't want to be biased, and I think a lot of fans in the Valley do this year in and year out in basketball and in football. We expect the teams here to be the ones, in the bright lights in the final stage, right? And that oftentimes is just simply not the case, right? We see teams from up north or teams from the East come in and take care of business. This year, though, I think that there's a lot to both Meridian and Rocky, despite being 2 of the top teams, still have they want to prove it attitude. And I think they're both going to do that, and they're gonna punch their way to the championship.
Yeah, I agree, man. I know that a lot of people will hate on the SIC. Oh, the talent in the Valley is not that good this year. Well, okay, but I know great teams when I see them. That's the whole the strength of schedule is weak and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, but a team can still be a great team. The Patriots were the same way. They played in a very weak conference throughout the duration of Tom Brady's career. Like, arguably, he had one of the easiest schedules his whole entire career at the Patriots. But they were still an elite team. They won championship after championship. They were an elite team. They just played. It's not their fault. It's the same concept. Meridian and Rocky are the 2 best teams in the state of Idaho. They might play in a weaker conference, so to speak, this year, top to bottom. It's not as strong as it's been sometimes. Sometimes it's pretty equally balanced. This year, there are levels. It's those 2 and then the rest of the group. I'm not meaning to be disrespectful towards the other squads, but I truly believe that. And I think that they're going to show up. Oh, let's see here. We got this. I'm still mad that Madison and Meridian are on the same side of the bracket. Those are the top 2 teams. So
that's a fact right there.
Ooh, I'll tell you, what do you guys think there?
Yeah, the whole seeding is interesting, to say the very least. It does present great round 1 matchups, as we're seeing, and or even round 2, if Meridian and Madison end up playing. But I mean, I just feel like a 1 through 8 is just the way to go as far as creating a tournament bracket.
You heard it here first. All right. AJ, who you got winning the
Probably
championship, brother?
I'm not the only one.
I got you. AJ, who do you got winning the championship this year?
I mean, Nathan Hope thinks Madison and Meridian are the top 2 teams. I disagree. I love Madison, love them, but I like Lake City more, man. The 4 sophomores, they got Chris Irvin and Jack Keesby, the 2 seniors. Keesby starts. Irvin off the bench. He was their starting quarterback. He's 6'5". Does a lot of nice things. They got the bench mob out there. Really high energy kids. Very close unit. I think chemistry is a huge thing. I've gotten to know that team a little bit because we went up there. Lake City, for me, is a team who I think Meridian would try to play straight up, and you're not going to play Colton Mitchell straight up. And that's what, I think these Rocky Mountain defenders are pretty confident in, their ability to get up in Colton Mitchell and lock him up. And they're going to look at him and they're going to see a 15, 16-year-old kid who looks like he's 12 and be like, this is him. And then he's different. He's completely different. And the doctor will tell you when he comes on here in a minute, Colton Mitchell is different, special. And I'm excited. And he is excited for the bright lights. He's excited for Rocky Mountain. Lake City, for me, starts a dynasty this year, and they beat Meridian in the state championship game. And Blake Buchanan is a guy who I think can give Brody Roberry enough problems with his length and his shot blocking ability at 6'9", 6'10". I think he gives Roberry enough of an issue, not completely eliminating him, but counteracting him, almost neutralizing him. And then I think Meridian's got more weapons, but I think Lake City's right there. I think Meridian's got more basketball players. I think Lake City has they can match them athletically, and I think the best player on both teams overall is on Lake City. So I'm going to go Lake City by 1.
All right. Lake City starts a dynasty this year. You heard it from Coach AJ. Let us hear it in the comments, guys. Tell us it on the Instagram page what you guys think. Come at him. If you think that's the right call, cool. If you think it's not, let us hear it. Ty, give your pick.
So I will say, to touch on Lake City real briefly, they have an opportunity to beat Rocky. And if no matter what happens to them this year, watch out the next 2 years, 100%. I will give them 1,000% full respect if they pull off a round 1 win. I don't see it, but in the championship, Meridian Rocky, you know what? It comes down to, a lot of things, but I'm going to give it to Meridian. I think from top to bottom, they're the team to beat. They have been the team to beat. They've got the best record. They've got the coach of the year. They got the player of the year from the SIC, shooter of the year from the SIC. It's too much to handle. They just came down from an 11-point deficit to start the game, went on a 9-0 run to take the lead in the fourth quarter against Rocky a week ago. And that's too big of a thing to ignore. And they have the firepower to get off to a very, very quick start if they want, and then control the game the rest of the way. So Warriors, let's go.
I love it. I'm going to sit there right there with you. If Meridian can hit free throws, it's a big if. And they know I love them. And I have not shut up about this since 3.5 weeks ago. They got to hit free throws. I'm going to tell you guys right now, as a sports analyst, somebody who's been around the game, free throws are the easiest shot in the world. No one is guarding you. Okay? It's a shooter's dream. It's better than a layup. No one's guarding you. It's not contested. Hit your free throws. I don't care what the pressure is. And it's the only line that doesn't change distance in levels of basketball. So hit your free throws. Okay? If you can hit your free throws, they don't even the second Rocky game where they lost it, they're not even close in that game. They win by double digits. Okay. If they can hit their free throws, especially at the end, they close the game out, period. They had 2 shots at it at the end of the game. The game short ended the 1-1 both times at that second Rocky game. And then last game, man, they could have easily like snuck back in the game quicker than it wouldn't have taken a 9-0 run by Jason Fisher and McKay Anderson to get, that game going. They would have been fine if they just hit their free throws. They were shooting 25% at halftime from the free throw line. That's atrocious. Okay. Hit your free throws. They can shoot. Those guys are all shooters. They're all studs. They know how to shoot. It's just something like mentally at the free throw line.
It's not that they're not working. We saw their practice today. As soon as I walked in, they're all shooting free throws. Yep. Or the coaches have reiterated that it's not that they're not working on free throws. That's just, it's a deceptively tough part of the game that, really separates elite players a lot of times. Those guys that are shooting 90% at the free throw line, put some respect on their name because it's not as easy as it looks. But
100%.
Like you touched on, they won't win the state championship if they continue with what they've been doing at the free throw line.
I don't think they get away with it in the state title, or sorry, in the state run. Regardless of who they play, they've got to make their free throws. They won't get away with it. That's not how it works. Speaks to their greatness, though. They've been able to win games doing that. So I always give them credit for that. I'm like, dude, you guys are super good if you guys can find ways to win with shooting so poorly from the line. I think that's awesome, but I do think they have to find a way to clear that up. But that's literally one of the only flaws I see in their game, like a true flaw, if you want to call it that. They are so lethal. I think Meridian wins it against Rocky Mountain in the state championship game. I just don't see Rocky being able to. I think Meridian puts a full game together that game. They've already seen a couple other ones. I think they don't start down 11-0. I think they come out ready to fire and they're going to pack it in and they'll win by double digits. So we got Meridian. AJ's got Lake City. We got a couple people who may disagree here. AJ might owe drinks to people, or they'll take him out for some. It appears in here. So I'm looking at the comments here from the fans. Guys, we are going to move forward on this as we're wrapping up the podcast. We've got a couple of segments. We appreciate the students that have been in here too. They've been chilling with us for a little bit. We're going to let them jump on here in just a second too. Thank you guys so much for tuning in so far. Leave us some comments. Let us know what you like, don't like, what you agree with, don't agree with. We want to hear it all. We appreciate everybody out here. So first things first, we're going to bring on the full court press. That's the next segment here. And it's going to be a quick one, but we told you we wanted to hear from Dirty Mike, right? So if you guys have questions for Dirty Mike or anything you wanted to hear from Dirty Mike, this is your time to put it in the comments because we're going to throw him in here and let him do his thing. So I'm going to add Coach Dirty Mike, DM right here to the broadcast. I'm probably going to actually remove myself. Hold on. We've got
remove me because we're in the room.
Okay, let me remove you, AJ. Sorry, I think it's actually Mike's computer, which is weird right there. I'm trying to pull it all up right here. Let's see. I'll unmute it real quick. Okay, you guys good?
Hold on, folks. Here we go.
Okay, we got you. I can hear you guys. All right, so if anyone's got... Let's see here. If anyone's got questions for Dirty Mike, let us know in the comments. But Ty, are you ready to rapid fire some questions at Dirty Mike? Just throwing stuff off the top of your head?
Yeah. Let's hit him. I'll let you go first.
Okay. Dirty Mike, we got to see what you got to think about Mountain View first and foremost. What do you think that they're going to do coming into the state tournament?
State tournament, I love those kids, and they had a good run at the end of the year, but I don't think they have much of a chance against Meridian. I really don't. Noah White, very talented. Clayton, very talented. Even DJ Myers does a lot for the team off the bench, but I just don't see it.
All right, Coach Mike, if you had to pick a round one upset, who would you pick?
A round one upset, huh? I'll tell you what. Let's go down the line, okay? First game, I got Lake City. Second game, it's Boise and Rigby. I take Rigby.
Sticking with Rigby.
That's right. Championship lines, man.
You said Meridian.
Meridian, you know where my heart is. Love Meridian.
Eagle Madison.
And Eagle Madison, I see Madison beating them because of the two big guys, the physicality they create, not to mention the star on the team, King. So
it sounds to me like you don't have a round one potential.
I really don't. I really don't.
All right.
Fair enough.
That's not how I roll, Ty.
No, sir.
Lake City's gonna win, man. I'm telling you.
Ooh, the EBC crew heavy on Lake City.
Well,
Jeez
hey,
Louise.
I've seen them a few times. I know how they can play. They're very cohesive. You know, these kids, nobody knows, they've been playing club ball ever since they were little together. So they're very cohesive. It's a very cohesive unit.
Respect that. You guys also made the drive up to Coeur d'Alene, so you guys, spend 8 hours plus together. You got to give them some sort of credit. I think that's the bias that's really showing. You guys had to spend so long in the car together that you naturally have to choose them. No, I'm just kidding. They're a good squad.
Well, face it. In 2 more years, okay, it's going to be Lake City and Rocky for the next 2 years. It for the 5A title, it's going to be both of them. That's fact.
Love it.
I respect that. And just keep in mind, Oahu's coming in here, and that's going to break up a lot of schools around here. Eagle, Rocky, Meridian.
That's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, we'll do that another day, but that's going to be a disruption.
Years to get their feet on the ground.
But it's going to disrupt the rest of the conference. It's totally, dude. I talked to everybody who's got the kids in the school. They're not letting anybody stay. Everyone's got to get. This happened to me when Meridian and Mountain View were built. When I was in Meridian, Mountain View was built my sophomore year. It broke everything up in the valley. It's going to be the same exact thing. It's gonna be crazy. Same thing happened with Rocky.
We shall see.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay, Coach Mike, most underrated player in the entire tournament.
Most underrated player in the entire tournament, huh? I'm going to have to give a shout out to Ethan Pierce.
I love
Meridian. Yeah,
Yep.
I think he is a potential star. I really do. If he works on his game this summer, I think he can do some great things next year.
I dig it. Ty, your turn, man.
Another question for you, Coach Mike. Do you think that Boise has a chance at all against Rigby? And if so, what would be the difference maker?
Yeah, no, I really don't. The reason why I'm saying that, they have 3 guys can really play. And the only time they showed up, all 3 this year, is against Eagle. That's the only time they really showed up.
And do you think that was their ceiling? You don't think that they can elevate their play and play better than that?
Nah, I don't think so. I really don't.
Can't wait to see.
Yeah, I really don't.
All right, Coach Mike. We got you look good for an old dude. What you got? That's what
I'm not old.
Yeah, old. What's old? What's old?
Mean? That's a number. That's all it is.
But the bottom line is that you do look good.
Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks for massaging that ego. I appreciate that. Takes a lot of work.
Flames on the sweatshirt there, EBC. There we go. Yeah, Coach Mike, we talk about working out all the time, dude.
Absolutely.
He gets dirty in the gym. You know what I mean? It's Dirty Mike. Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
He gets down.
Go in there. Don't talk to anybody. Just get the job done.
I like it. All right, Coach Mike, I'm going to ask you one more question, okay?
Shoot.
All right. So, fan bases. Who has the best students in the state?
I'd have to say Mountain View. I like Mountain View's excitement. Of course, you really can't tell because of this year, the COVID year. You know, they're only letting in 13 kids.
So true.
I think you made the right choice there, Coach Mike.
Yeah, I mean, last year it was Bora.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So listen, that's perfect because we're bringing on some students here in just a little bit. They're gonna share their piece here and let them. This is great. This is what we wanted to hear from you, Coach Mike, because you might have ruffled some feathers here. I can't wait. This is fantastic. But Coach Mike, thank you for joining us for Full Court Press, giving us your insight. If you guys have any comments, leave them below. If you agree, disagree, whatever, let us know. Whether you're watching it live, if you're watching it on a replay, totally cool. But let us know what you guys think. Coach Mike, we appreciate you, brother.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
See you, Coach Mike.
Hey, Brian, what's going on, man? Didn't even tell you I was bringing you on until just right now, just popping you up. This is the doc right here. Brian likes to analyze a lot of things, and then he's very smart. He's a doctor, okay? He knows his stuff. He's an educated individual, but he's not just educated when it comes to the medical field. He's super, super educated when it comes to the basketball side of things. Brian, how you doing, man? Can you hear me?
I'm good. I think that the reasoning for bringing me on is the amateur hour opinions. I think we had the experts on. Now it's time to hear the everyman's opinion, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, is that the next segment? I can put it right here. Is that right? You want to call it amateur hour? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hold on one second. You guys are breaking up a little bit. Okay, I think I might have you. A little bit.
Can you hear me, Ty?
Really,
I can hear you. Yes.
I'm not sure. It's just really crackly.
Yeah, it's a tad crackly on my side, too. One second. I'm going to
you now.
remove
Try
myself. Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Brian, can you hear me?
I got you. I got you now. I got you.
Okay, we'll see. All right. Ty, I'm probably going to remove myself. It sounds like I'm the common denominator here.
I think it might be Brian here.
Oh, is it? Let's see. Brian, I'm not sure what's going on, but if it's crackling for everybody else, if you can hear us. But I want to get your take on the state tournament, what you've seen through the state of Idaho, watching these players. What's your take?
So first thing, I was listening to you guys. I was hoping to come on and kind of be controversial because I really, really, really like Lake City. AJ kind of stole that from me. Not surprising. We seem to think alike with a lot of things. But man, Lake City, I picked against them twice this year when playing against teams with senior guards, which I think is just such a big thing, having upperclassmen, leaders, especially guards. And I was so excited to see kind of where they'd be in the bracket. I was really bummed to see them be put against or to end up playing Rocky Mountain in the first round, just because that is a tough matchup for them, just because I think that Rocky has so much depth, so much talent. And, you know, first of all, I'll just throw this out there. I know AJ was talking about Colt Mitchell. Dude is a flat dog. He's a baller. I mean, absolutely agree. Looks young, and you wouldn't think anything of it if you saw him, you know, at the YMCA, and he can get it. I mean, he does every single thing well. He shoots the ball well, gets to the rim. He's deceptively athletic, and it's unreal to me. In fact, multiple Buchanan as well, that these kids are, you know, sophomores, because the reason I picked against them multiple times is because of that. And they do not play like sophomores. They're physical. They seem to have so much composure compared to a lot of underclassmen that you see. And, you know, it'll be so interesting to me to see how they respond to playing against a veteran team that matches up well against them, like Rocky Mountain. I mean, with, you know, Buchanan against Fielder, Monk, I think can guard Colton Mitchell. I mean, they have so many people on that Rocky Mountain team that I think it just makes it tough for Lake City. But because I really wanted to pick them, oh man, it's a tough one for me because, like I said, Colton Mitchell is one of my favorite players in the state. I can't wait to see what he does. But I think that it's going to be tough for them against Rocky Mountain. I'm going to probably end up I'm going to pick Rocky Mountain in that game, even though it's going to be the third time that I pick against them. And so I kind of hope they prove me wrong because I'm a fan, but, you know, lots of kids on that Rocky Mountain team seem like great kids and good players. So that's a win-win for me. I would give a lot. I'd pay good money to watch that game for sure. That's one to tune in. That's my top game of the first round for sure. Those two teams.
Absolutely.
Totally think you're spot on with that. Nathan Hope says Lake City is young and playing in the Idaho Center is difficult. We kind of touched base on that earlier, but you just kind of brought that point up. Like, they're young, but they don't play like sophomores. They've been tested. Brian, another question to follow up on that. When you had come to the game, it was last week against Eagle, Meridian was playing Eagle, I believe. You had mentioned, Lake City's the best team in the state, but I haven't seen Meridian play yet.
Yeah.
And that was a weird game. We touched base on the stuff that happened in that, that transpired at the end of the third quarter in that Eagle game. But now having seen Meridian, do you still have that opinion that Lake City is the best team in the state?
No, I mean, I thought a lot about that. I think that Meridian is just, they have everything, every single thing that you could want. And I think that you guys were touching on, free throw shooting. They're too good of shooters to shoot 25% from the free throw line. I mean, they are cold. They're cold. And, I mean, every kid on the team seems like they can shoot, even Rowberry, and that shocks me every time. I'm like, what's he doing shooting that? And it's money. I mean, he can
beautiful, dude.
Yeah, and that makes him super tough. If they can make free throws, there is no way honestly, I don't see anybody beating them, including Rocky or anyone else. But I think that that's going to be key. I mean, that's a tough thing. I mean, because we know they can all shoot, and like you said, that's the easiest shot in basketball. Just stand up there. But it certainly doesn't seem easy when you're sitting up there by yourself in pressure situation. Like the state tournament. So talent-wise, I don't see anybody beating them. I don't. I mean, they have everything from elite scorers. They play, and then the intangibles, and everything from coaching to the fact that they play freaking hard. I mean, they play defense. I mean, they've got stars that are willing to sell out and get dirty, play defense, and then they have maybe one of my favorite players in the state, and Drayson Fisher, who from a former point guard. I can't stop watching him. He just does so many things that from a coach and former player standpoint that you just love to see. I feel like there's so few kids that would have the ability to buy in to doing those things, knowing that they have the ability to do more, and just there's no ego there. He's willing to, sacrifice, his own numbers and stats for the good of the team. Taking charges, just playing ridiculously good defense, taking care of the ball, passing the ball. I mean, doing all those things that a true leader and point guard can do. And I think that he's the difference maker for them, believe it or not. I mean, I think that they obviously have elite scoring, elite defensive ability, obviously size. And I mean, after watching them play, and I don't even think they played well when I saw them play. I don't think that they played even remotely close to as well as they've played this season. And they still did some things that were super impressive. So, I mean, they'll be my pick regardless of who ends up playing them. I think that they end up winning. I think that Lake City's tough. I think they got, unfortunately, a really tough matchup in the first round that's going to hurt them. That's going to be tough for them. But no, I mean, to answer your question, that's really long-winded to say no. I think Meridian I think they just have too much. They have everything. And I think that if everything experience on down to talent, and I think that they end up getting it done.
I dig it, man. I dig it. I think Meridian's got everything, including coaching, which is a
100%.
vital aspect. Coach Sainer, man, I can't speak highly enough about that guy. Even when I just have a normal conversation with him, for the record, I'm going to say this right now. I had the chance to shoot with Sainer this afternoon really quickly. I tied him 4 for 10 from the 3-point line. He will not outshoot me. I hope one day he hears this again. I told him I'll rematch him in the spring. Season's over. He can't outshoot me. I'm the best shooter in Idaho. Still am. And I tied Sainer 4 for 10, shooting 40% from the 3-point line. Let's go. But yeah, Sainer's a stud. Love him. And those kids believe in him, and they believe in themselves, which is what he's instilled in that program. And that, along with the talent and the weapons they have, just unbelievable. So, Brian, we appreciate you joining us, man, as we get ready to go to the next segment. Thank you so much. This is the Doc. Guys, go follow him. He's the man. You'll hear more from him here in the near future as well. Stay tuned. We appreciate you, man.
All right, B. Hey, Coach.
All right, AJ, here's the time that we're going to wrap this thing up with our last segment where we're bringing on some fans. We're going to call this the sixth man, all right?
Yes, sir.
And you know the guys, so I want you to be able to take the reins here, but I want to bring them in. Guys, we've talked about the fan bases. Even one of these comments here, I'm going to put this from Nathan Hope. Thanks for chiming in as well, because we want the comments and stuff. Madison has the best students. We've heard the Mavericks have the best students. We've heard a couple different things, but we got some other people who may disagree with that, okay? And so we're going to let them come in. I'm going to bring these guys all on, so just a minute here. All righty, fellas.
Yeah.
Let's go. So, AJ, these are the boys from Off the Rip, okay?
Oh, yeah. Of course.
First off, guys, I got Nico, I've got Nico, Cruz, and Zay, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. You're good.
Okay, so Nico, Cruz, and Zay, tell us about Off the Rip real quick. What is Off the Rip before we get into the fan bases? I want you guys to give a shout out to your platform.
Yeah, off the rip was kind of something we just came up with. Like, this year's been really crazy and all that, and it was kind of just a way for us to escape that as like best friends and just talk about, some of the stuff we're interested in, talk about sports, movies, whatever it may be, just to get away from all the weird stuff going on right now. Just enjoy, our senior year while we can.
Yeah, for sure. It was senior year, and man, we were just trying to do something fun. We were just trying to go out with a bang, So
Yeah, me and Nico actually this all started kind of like a year before. I remember we were sitting in our personal finance class. We were kind of talking about starting up a podcast, like how fun that would be. We're like, man, maybe someday like we can make money off this or something like that. And COVID, that just gave us like just kind of a perfect opportunity to use our platform, connect with different people, and have some fun.
Yeah, it gave us more of a reason, and here we are now. Holy cow! So
I dig it, fellas.
I'm gonna give them a shout out because they had me on the show.
Oh yeah,
time. We went for about an hour and 15 minutes. We probably could have gone for about 4 to 5 hours talking sports and how Jordan's the GOAT, Kobe's not, all that type of stuff.
Oh.
But shout out to my guy Cruz here in the bottom corner. The best looking guy on the show today with that fire he's got on, man. But Off the Rip, man, check him out. Instagram at Off the Rip. These guys have a lot of fun. They're great dudes. They're athletes, former athletes, all that type of stuff. And Drayson Fisher, who Coach Brian Burns is talking about, the starting point guard from Meridian, one of the best players in the state of Idaho. He was our Defensive Player of the Year this year. He is part of this group, part of this podcast. And I was never asked who I thought the best fans in the state were. I said that Matt.
Here we go.
There. But hey, man, my boys at Meridian, we had a good time the other night after they won that decision.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I keep rewatching those videos, so let's do it again, though, huh?
No, for
Yeah,
sure.
we're
Run
done.
it back. Don't
Yeah.
you worry, AJ.
We're definitely not done. I mean, district championship feels great, but we're not done. We are not done.
Heck yeah.
You guys are awesome. First off, AJ, I'm doing the broadcast, the NFHS network. I'm over there doing color commentating, and Chuck from NFHS sees AJ in the students section just getting everybody riled up. And Chuck's like, look at AJ over there. He's like, he's in there with the students. And I started laughing. I'm like, yeah, AJ's got his boys over there. Like, dude, he's over there doing his thing.
Dude,
You guys
AJ
all getting, oh, man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Actually, real quick, I
Go
want to
for it.
backtrack to what Dirty Mike said, saying
Oh, here we go.
Mountain View's the best
Get him, Nico.
student section this year. And that's interesting because, not just on the court, but off the court, we're about, competition and stuff. I mean, I think we've won the last 8 stinky sneakers.
How many is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Something
8
like that.
we've
No,
been-
but no disrespect, non-COVID year, Bora and Mountain View always show out, no matter what sport it is. That's just something I feel like since we started at Meridian, that's something we've just always prioritized. Like just going to the games with your friends was always what you did, Friday night lights, basketball games, and having 2 of our best friends on the team this year. I mean, that's just even more motivation to go.
For
for
sure,
us.
especially right now, it's a different feeling. There's I would say aura amongst just the students, the people in the school. There's a different type of excitement going into the state tournament. So yeah, for sure, we're gonna show up and show out.
Yeah.
So they're allowing 750 people, or sorry, 750 students, to my understanding.
Yeah.
How do you guys expect to keep it loud in a big Idaho center? It's huge, limited fans, limited students. How do you guys expect to keep it loud and make yourselves known?
Honestly, man, I just say keep doing us. I mean, I've always thought we were the best student section. I always thought we were the loudest. I mean, respect to you guys for picking Mountain View, but I know EBC put us down as #1 student section last year. Same fans this year. I mean, I think it stays the same. I mean, I just say just keep doing us, honestly.
Nah, and I think it'll be interesting to see. I'm sure they do it. So the girls' state tournament, they usually have the baseline student sections, and those weren't there this year. So with all the students being spaced out, I think it's going to be interesting to see how loud crowds can actually get, and potentially impact games.
But you heard us at Capitol. We were popping off, man. And we were like 12. We weren't even 6 feet apart. We were like 12 feet apart at that game. So yeah.
Like all 10 of you guys that were there, it seemed like, 'cause they had to space everybody out across like 5 rows. Yeah.
Yeah, AJ was a warrior that night.
AJ.
Hey, I've got Warrior ties, man. I got family that's coaching there. I want my cousin to get a state championship. I got relationships with these kids, man. Same as Eagle. If Eagle wins it, happiest dude in the world. If Meridian wins it, happiest dude in the world. I got different ties, different places. But when it really comes down to it, I pick Lake City to win the whole thing. I pick them to beat Meridian in the state championship game. But check it out. You know, I gotta try and frustrate these guys a little bit. I'm trying to coach without coaching, and like show me something, like shut me up. But when it comes down to it, like I'll say it right now, end of the day, go Warriors, man. Family first. That's it. Go Warriors.
Yeah, gotcha.
I dig it, guys. Why do you guys feel that Meridian's going to take the state championship? From a student's perspective, why do you guys feel that? And, you know, your students and fans. What's your analysis?
I honestly, man, I think we're the deepest team in the state by far. We got guys on our bench that would be starting on any other team, I think. So I think we can take it for sure.
No, yeah, I just think we have the best players. You know, we're the best, and we're gonna win with the best. Kind of saying what Isaiah said, we're so deep. We have guys that can just like go off at any moment. You saw what McKay Anderson did in that game. He took over. He just chose to do that. He can do that any game he wants. Yeah. And like Drayson Fisher too, when you need him to step up, he'll step up. He had that little 5-0 run in the quarter right there. So I just think we're too deep. We're too good. I think we're just the best team.
Yep.
100%. Guys, it's always fun. Like this, being a student at a game is actually a blast, especially when you got friends that are out there and you actually care about the game itself and your friends. It's one of the best parts of it. You know what I mean? Like if you're not actually competing in the sport, being the student there, like getting rowdy, getting out there, screaming. I mean, they all talk sportsmanship, but I mean, we all know the game. Like you try to get in the other team's head. That's why they call it a 6-man. I love chirping. I loved always chirping at certain players. Find one player, go after them the whole game, get in their head.
It almost feels like you're playing in the game. Like you're literally there. You're invested. It's crazy, man. It's a different type of feeling for sure.
I do have to ask you guys, because I go back in time when I was I was a sophomore. I wasn't on varsity at the time. We were at a varsity game. It was in the district tournament, and we were in the student section. We found one of the players. I'm not going to say names or anything, but we found him. We just targeted him the whole game, right? The whole game, and I'm screaming at him, and I didn't care back then. I was a bigger kid. I wasn't scared of anybody. He's a senior, and I was just going after him. Third quarter rolls around. They were coming in from halftime, and he came over to us because they're inbounding it near us, and he just started screaming back at us. And I knew at that moment I had broke him. I was like, yeah, I got him. And I knew I had done my job as a fan. I was like, I got him. I got in his head, and I know exactly what happened. And he sucked the rest of the game. He was so mad. Have you guys had any experiences that you can share? Let's hear something. Let's hear a story.
Oh, actually, earlier this year, I know these guys can back me up. Earlier this year, we were playing Timberline, right? They were chipping away at us. This dude, I don't even know.
They tied the game.
They tied the game. He hits a 3. He looks at our student section because we've been chirping at him all game. He looks at us and he starts waving goodbye. I'm like, dude, you just tied this thing up. You can't be saying anything yet. We started talking to him, and he ended the game terribly. He got his shot blocked. He airballed the layup. He missed free throws in crunch time, man. We were all up in there for sure, man.
Yes, man.
Hey, rent free, man. I mean, if enough of us are chirping at one dude, I mean, he's gonna fall apart, and
we definitely
from time to time. So.
We pick our guy for the game. Like last game, I know it was number 33 for Rocky. I'm not sure of his name, man, but we were going out the whole game. So
no, yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's all fun and games. We have the utmost respect for all these guys out here competing.
Yeah,
that's a lot of time and effort they put into that. So. You know, we're just having fun. No disrespect.
And us being athletes and Nico being a former athlete, like we're just competitive, man. But like off the court, let's be best buds. I'm totally for it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I dig it, guys. Like this is why I love it, man. I love chatting with you guys. I understand the passion, so I ain't got no judgment here. Like, everybody understands the game that happens. You know, that's part of it. That's why I love hearing it. And you rent free, get a shirt.
Rent free.
There's the tagline for the show. AJ, any words for your boys here before we decide to part ways?
Nah, man. Hey, keep doing what you guys are doing, man. You guys are very good at it. You guys, I mean, it's easy to see the type of guys you are. I mean, you understand the sports, but your personalities, man. You guys are just a lot of fun. Nico was on the story the other day doing
Keeping up,
just flowing. He was just in it. So, man, keep doing what you guys are doing. Good luck on the baseball field this year. I know both of you guys, I believe, have committed.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, at same place, right? Same place.
Yeah, College
Yep.
of Idaho. Yep.
You guys gonna be roommates or what?
Oh yeah, of
Yeah,
course,
for
man.
sure, yeah.
We've grown up together. We can't part ways like that.
Heck yeah, man. I love that, man. And I'll say it again. Coach Mike looks good in the Flames, but Cruz, you look better. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys.
I actually have a question for you. Eagle over Madison. That's a
heart pick, bro. That's
bold. Nah, because I actually agreed with Boise Sports Talk. I thought Madison, Meridian on the same side of the bracket. That's tough, man.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a tough game to play in the semis for sure.
Yeah. Hey, but at least we're gonna have a fun Friday night now.
Oh yeah, of course, man.
If it happens, because the Mustangs can win that game,
Hey.
and Meridian has to show up and take care of Noah White and the boys. So we'll see what happens. But I agree, it's tough to have those two teams. But I'm telling you guys, Rocky Mountain, Lake City, those are two teams that can win state, no problem. If you guys got a chance to get into that game, talk to some of your Rocky homies and get student tickets and go to that game, go watch Lake City. They're fun, bro. They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
100%. And you get out of school. What's up?
Best time of the year as a student because it's state basketball, man. You get out of school early, go drink some chocolate milk. But I don't think they're doing chocolate milk this year. They're doing something weird because of COVID. But yeah, guys, we appreciate you all for joining us. We look forward to seeing you guys over there representing for the Warriors. I'm a Warrior alum, so go Warriors. I'm expecting them to win, hoping that they win, and look forward to seeing your guys' energy. Appreciate you guys.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate you guys. Hey.
Thanks, guys.
See ya. All right, guys. So I'm going to bring back on Ty and Colin. I'm going to talk to you if you can hear me and I can see you in the background. Are you ready to come on for an encore just to say goodbye, or would you prefer not to? I can't tell. Let me see what you look like. Are you ready for an encore?
Wait, can I put
Let's
this
see.
down?
Hey, are you good? Are you clothed? Come on, guys.
We're good.
We're gonna end the show here. It's been a long night, so I apologize. We just had a lot going on and talking, but this has been the Game Changers podcast, presented by Idaho Premier, brought to you by the Game Time Guru, EBC Basketball, and Boise Sports Talk. We've had a blast talking with you guys. One more time, Idaho Premier. Tryouts are tomorrow. Guys, go follow them. Go follow all their pages. Come check it out. Idaho Premier Basketball. We already put that here earlier. I'll put it again here in the description while we're talking. I want to give anybody a chance who's on here to say any parting words as we bounce out for the night. Starting with Colin. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I just really wanted to real quick, just a little shout out to the kids who are playing in the state tournament from Idaho Premier. So, you got Noah White, you got Tyler Clayton, you got Drew Carter, you got Micah Area, you got Grayson Fisher, McKay Anderson, Brody Roberry, you got Joe Mapoyo, you got David Stacker, you got Brendan, and then we got let's see. Oh, sorry, that's my daughter.
Yeah, let's go. She playing?
Max Need, Spencer Morehouse, and then my boy Jaden Hanson plays with us. So it's last time, and I'm gonna hope and fingers crossed that he's able to play with us in the spring and towards the end of the season, hopefully. So he knows he has a spot with us. So,
Baller. Appreciate it, Colin.
Hey, guys, man, you guys are great. I love it. This is great.
Thank you.
It was amazing. So we just really appreciate what you guys got going on, and it's all about the kids. It's all about. I mean, we're so excited. Honestly, it's gonna be so great. It's just gonna be great the way that we're gonna be able to help kids get exposure and just be a family. That's it. It's a family.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Check the link below, guys. IdahoPremierBasketball.com. Go check it out. Get some more information there. Follow them on their social profiles. Ty, anything to say before we bounce?
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. No, it was a long show. We will we'll probably condense that in the future, but we do appreciate you for sticking with us tonight and for your continued support. We're having a lot of fun doing what we're doing, but your support goes a long way with making that happen. Hope you all enjoyed the player awards that we put out yesterday, and stay tuned for a potential big announcement for the state tournament in the next, hopefully, day or so. Yeah, stay tuned. And big shout out to Off the Rip and Idaho Premier. We'll see you guys soon.
AJ.
Nah, man, let's change the game. That's what we're trying to do here. Podcasts and just with the exposure, and we just got a lot of things in store, man. And we can't wait to just get everybody even more and more excited about what we're doing here as a group. Colin said it's family. All of us here in this picture right now, 5 of us are going to be coaching and a part of Idaho Premier. We're going to be doing the media stuff, and we're just going to be building relationships with kids and just trying to change the game out here in Idaho from an exposure standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, how kids are treated, how they're coached. Just it's exciting. It's an exciting time, and you can just kind of feel it. And we've talked about it. We can kind of feel it in the air that there's a shift and a transition happening and a change, and we don't know quite what this is going to be, but we know it's going to be special because us guys here, you guys here at the forefront, special guys, man. And I'm excited to continue to build a friendship and build this thing and just support kids and do something positive, which this world needs horribly. So,
no doubt. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Coach Mike, thank you so much for joining us for Full Court Press tonight. And Brian, I know you're busy and doing your thing. The doc joined us as well. You can't see his picture, but he is here. We just want to say thank you guys for joining us for Game Changers. Follow us on our social platforms. You've got the Gametime Guru, you got EBC Basketball, Boise Sports Talk, you got Idaho Premier. Go follow. Everybody's on their social profiles as we continue to change the game, and we want you guys to help us change it as well. So we'll talk to you guys next time, and enjoy the state tournament.
Let's go dancing.